What's up, everybody? Jason from Straight Edge. I've got another review for you today, and guys, I'm pretty excited about this. This is the Auxiliary Manufacturing Deadhead Karl Jr. Yeah, okay, it's the box, and we need to get it out so you guys can see this, guys. Take this bad boy out of the box, which I really do like the box a lot too, just because it got a lot of really cool skater style type of graphics that are on the box. Makes it kind of fun for me. Uh, Never was really a skater, but always appreciated the fact that people could do that. It's pretty cool. Uh, Open up the box, guys. You got a nice little cleaning cloth in there. You got auxiliary manufacturing coffin sticker. Really cool little patch. I think this might even glow in the dark. I'm not 100% sure, but very cool little patch as well. I love patches. Can never have enough of them. But let's get a look at this Karl, guys. That's what you want to see. Bam! Pop this bad boy out. Check this nasty little guy out. Woo! Hey, feels really good in the hands. This is very, very cool. And I'm going to tell you all about this right after this quick word from our sponsors, guys. Sorry I had to do it. Hey, they help sponsor the channel. Wicked Industries, guys, the makers of Wicked Wax and Wicked Clean. Fantastic products help keep your blades in good shape. Wicked Clean works great to clean all the really hard gunk off and stuff like that. Use some 4/0 steel wool. Doesn't mess up your finish at all. And then come in behind it with some Wicked Wax, polish it off, put some on your handle scales. Your knife's ready to be stored and ready to go for the next time you need it. All food grade safe. So you can definitely don't have to worry about having to wash it off if you go cut up a hot dog later on. So you're all good to go. And of course, when you're out there doing all whatever it is you're doing, your hands get beat up, your feet get dry, your elbows get cracked. Utilize Wicked Rescue, guys. Stuff was made in conjunction with some wound care specialists to help those moisturize and help wounds and things like that heal up better. Not it's not like magic, right? But it just helps you. If you've got moisture in your skin. I don't know. Maybe I'm not a doctor, but it was developed in conjunction with some wound care specialists, so I believe it works because it makes my hands feel better. So if you guys hands get beat up, definitely go check out Wicked Industries. Get you some cleaning products. Get you some of this Wicked Rescue. Like I said, we all get beat up hands. We want to take care of them, right? All right, guys, let's get back to the Karl Jr., guys. So Michael Jarvis over there, Auxiliary Manufacturing, been making handmade knives for quite a while now. The Karl is a very, very popular model of his, as well as the Pocket Bowie. And what he wanted to do, this is the Pocket Bowie, guys. I got a full review on this, so check it out. What Michael wanted to do, man, something in the air today. Is he wanted to be able to make a production line of these knives to make it a little bit more affordable for some of the consumers out there, right? Because times get tough, and we don't all have a ton of money to buy knives. Maybe you don't have enough to buy a Pocket Bowie or a Karl at the handmade price, which is it's a little bit more money. It's handmade. A lot of time and effort goes into that, but Michael still wanted you to have the ability to pick one of his designs up, which are really great functional designs. And so he partnered up with Magura Knives, a very reputable OEM maker, and they basically came out with a production line of the Pocket Bowie and the Karl Jr., and there's also some folders as well. I don't have the folders, I just have the Pocket Bowie and now the Karl Jr., so I can show those two to you. But definitely go check out the website down below if you want to look at the folders and things like that. But these are coming in at a much more affordable price for you, depending on your budget. Would I buy a handmade Karl Jr. as well? Heck yeah, I would. I mean, the production version is awesome, but the handmade ones are fantastic as well. So, just depends on your budget, what you need the knives for, things like that. But these are just great, like all around everyday carry little beaters, man. Like, and they're not so expensive where if you lost it or something like that, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I lost a $300 knife. You only lost maybe a $100 knife. So some people look at it that way. It just depends on like your usage, what you need them for. Let's get a look at the Karl though. I'm sitting here talking and you guys like, shut up and show me the knife, Jason. So the Karl was designed in conjunction with a police officer, I believe, if I read that correctly. Wanted a functional knife that was going to, be able to pierce into zombies and seat belts and things like that, but also provide a possibly a necessary backup tool if they needed it. It's got a really nice swoop in the handle here that locks in that hand, gives you some really good retention. You got a nice finger choil here to help keep your finger from sliding up onto the blade if you're in that reverse grip. And then that bird's head beak also acts as a nice thumb rest, so you can come over the top. Excuse me, hold on to this thing, come in here and do pow, pow, do or whatever it is you got to do. or, you know, flay out some stuff. And it's just a really comfortable grip. You got this nice G10 handle with all this texturing, so it feels really, really good in the hand. The texturing that he does on his blades, his texture design is just awesome. Let me give you guys a look at the two together. You can see there's a little bit of a length difference. Handle, obviously, there's just a lot of differences there, guys, but they're both great blades that you could pocket carry, especially if you take off this clamp style clip sheath. Throw in a discreet carry concepts or ulti clip on here, man, these things will just disappear into your pocket. You'll have them all day. Speaking of the sheath is very well made. Nice kydex, folded over taco style. Definitely enough mounting holes to put whatever carry system you want on there. Again, it does come with this clamp style sheath right here. Nice thumb wrap. Come in here, locks in really nicely. Pop that sucker off. You're good to go. No rattle, shake, everything is just fit up very, very nicely. So again, come in here, pop this out, put it to work. Let me give you guys the specs on this. So this is overall 7 inches. The blade length is 3 inches, which makes it legal just about everywhere. Always check your local knife laws, by the way. The blade is 3 inches. This is 14C28 in black PVD coated steel. So again, it's a little bit of a more affordable steel, so it keeps that price point in the nice budget range. You're looking at 0.12 0.12 thickness, black G10 grips. Again, you have a kydex sheath with a clamp style pocket clip. Guys, this thing I wear XL gloves, big old meat paws. I can get a nice full grip on this. This bird's head beak's coming just under my pinky. So if I had to really hammer grip this and just, whatever I'm doing, slicing at that pizza, I got a hold of it. There's some really cool scallop jimping on the back, as you can see there. Feels really nice on the thumb. It's giving it traction, but it's not eating into my thumb. So again, if you had to come in for those hard kind of swiping cuts, if you will, you're going to do that with your thumb on the back. Give it that extra pressure, extra power. You could definitely do that. This sucker is lending itself with a really, really nice tip. It's a thin tip, guys. So this is a penetrative tip. And with the way this blade shape is, it has just that slight curve up. As you're coming down into something, you're going to drive that tip right through whatever it is you're cutting. I mean, that's just going to go swatch right through it, man. And then again, with this handle grip, as I come out and let's just say I go to pull straight out, this tip is going. It's just lined up with my wrist, perfectly straight point. So I know wherever I'm pointing this thing at, that's where that tip is going. You get a curved blade like this. It's got the swoop in there. I point that out. Well, the tip is still there, but it is kind of coming up. So it's apples to oranges, I guess, if you will. Just depends on what you're attempting to do, I guess. But if you really want that, I know where that tip is going as I poke out. So, which is really nice. And then this reverse grip, that bird's head beak locks into my finger, thumb over the top. Kind of come in, got to do your punches, little side swipes, whatever it is you got to do. This is kind of coming. It feels good. It's like light, it's nimble, it's quick. Bam, 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 bam. You got to do what you got to do. I am by no means an expert. Definitely go check out people like Adam Boyce at Spartan Mode, GN Funker Tactical, guys like that. If you really want to know about knife combatants, definitely check those guys out. I just kind of learned a little bit of things, but I feel like if I had to pull this in that type of situation, I got it. I got at least a hold of the knife. I don't know if I got a hold of the incident, right? But this feels really good in the hand, and I just like the blade shape. Very simple, down to earth, straight to the point. No pun intended. Little just bam, bam, bam. And this is just going to, I think, really do a fantastic job with just your everyday carry type of situation, just cutting rope, boxes, envelopes, things like that. And we're going to find that out right now, guys. We're going to go over the testing area. We're going to put this through the EDC style stuff. We're going to stab into some stuff. This is not a woods knife by any means, so I'm not even going to, I'll do some feather sticking and stuff like that with it. But as far as like batoning and stuff with that, that's not what this knife's designed for. So I don't think we'll be diving into that type of stuff. I don't know. I always say that and then we wind up doing it. But, again, with this thinner tip, you definitely, you get into doing some batoning and stuff, you definitely run the risk of bending or breaking that tip. So, again, it's one of those things where this isn't necessarily designed to be that type of tool. Should we test it that way? We'll find out. we'll just see how it goes when we get to the testing area, right? No, that's how we go. That's how we roll here, right? So, guys, let's get over the testing area. Let's put the Deadhead Karl Jr. to the test and see what it can handle. Alrighty, we're over here at the testing area, guys, ready to put this Karl Jr. to work. I like that Karl Jr. Look at that, guys. Very, very cool blade. Again, feels good in the hand. That nice jimping. Kind of come in here and do all that cool stuff if you have to do it. But guys, this is, I think where this is going to excel is one, an EDC task, right? I think it's going to do great in EDC tasks, and it will provide a nice little backup, get off me tool for the zombies if you need it as well. But let's see what kind of penetration we get, guys. We got the old catalog here. Got this nice thumb over grip of that bird's head. Again, that feels really good in the hand. Come in, stab. Bam. Tip is just right there. It went just almost all, it went all the way through, just the tip. Yeah, there's a joke in there. So, bam, come in there. Yeah, went all the way through. I opened it up. It came off. There's the tip right there. So definitely got some good penetration there. As it went into the log, this pretty acute tip is still straight, still needle point sharp. So that's good to know. You had to come in, cut some rope, stuff like that. We got some paracord here. Again, we're getting into the EDC stuff. You come in here. Yeah, you're going to be able to come in, definitely cut some rope, nice and easy. Just like so. Handle, make your tout lines for your canopy, hand maker, whatever it is you got going on. Yeah, you can definitely do that. So, guys, we got some jeans here, some jean material. If you had to cut into some clothing or something like that to render some first aid, some type of situations like that, can you cut into clothing? Definitely. Yep. Look at that. That tip just went right in, cuts right through. No problem there at all. So you had to cut in some t-shirts, something like that, whatever it is, had to cut through some stuff. Again, that tip is going to drive right through. It's going to do, I think, a really good job getting in there. Here we have some thicker, just kind of, I don't even know what this is. It's like some sort of cottony synthetic rope. You had to come in here. Bam. It's definitely a thicker piece, right? Had to come in here, cut some of this stuff. Definitely drive that blade right through there, cut through it. No problems. We got this fun stuff right here, the old not sissy rope, the yellow poly nylon rope. You guys, this stuff's pretty popular, gets used a lot. Come in there, that one kind of slid out on me a little bit. Bam, cut through it. Bam, cut through it. Definitely cut through some of that stuff without a problem. Let's say you had to cut an extension cord for whatever reason, guys. So we got some extension cord here. Kind of come in here. We're going to do a little bit of reverse grip. Come in here. Do this whole kind of chest pulley. There we go. Bam. Cut through there. Absolutely. So let's check that edge. Still nice and sharp. That tip is still good. I don't see any chipping or rolling on the edge. So far so good, guys. Hold on nice. So again, this is kind of one of those things where now typically we get into the woodcrafty type of stuff. Again, is this designed to be a bushcraft knife, a woodcraft knife? No, it's again, to me, it's more of an EDC self-preservation thing. Again, it was designed in conjunction with a police officer, something to be carried on a tactical vest. Like, again, they get attacked, get off me, sir. Whatever the case may be. So, but we will do some woodsy type stuff with it. Like we're going to make a tent stake, make some fire curls, stuff like that. This isn't a chopper. It's not meant to be a batoner. So there's, kind of no point in doing that. Because just, you'd have to be in such a bad situation to utilize this knife for that type of stuff. I think at that point, if it breaks, who cares, right? But we're going to come in here. Had to make a tent stake. Could easily come in here, shave this stick down, get it down to a nice point. Got a little knot right there. Just cut through that. You guys can hear that. So we could come in there and cut through, keep shaving it down. typically what I like to do is I like to come in and do some light chops. This knife is super light, guys. I don't know if it really would be the most effective way to do it. I think you would almost be able to get a little bit more power into your into just hogging the material off, because you could put your thumb on that back and really just dig it in and just get that tip down. Again, it's not a chopper. It's just designed. I mean, some of the knives I do reviews on obviously aren't designed to be choppers. You can't pull off some chopping capabilities with it. Is this one of them? Yeah, it's working. It's just I'm going to be sitting here for a lot longer doing it than maybe you have time for, or maybe you want to do, or maybe you don't want to make that much noise. But is it able to do it? Yeah, I was chopping through there. You know, I just think that at the end of the day, it probably would be just, in this case, a little faster to just hog the material off. So you get it down to a point, however sharp you need it. You might need it super sharp because it is October. Got to watch out for them pesky old vampires. So you might need to make a stake for that. But now we need to make a notch, guys, because you're going to stick this in the ground. You're going to hook your rope or paracord around to it. So again, this is a pretty small knife, a nice controllable knife. So you can come in here. I like to kind of just go about, I start rolling the knife in, basically taking shavings and just stopping at a certain point. And the more I do it, I'm basically digging down. I'm creating a lip. And you can make this as deep as you need to, but typically I try not to go more than halfway, because if you go too thin, you know, depending on how much pressure you're putting on the stick, you know, it could break. So I like to not go more than halfway. I'll get to about that point right there, and then I'll come in, rock the knife over the top, kind of cut those pieces out. Now I got a nice little notch. I hook my rope there. If I need to, I can come in, dig it out a little bit more, dial it in, make it a little better, or, you know, worse, depending on your whatever it is you're trying to do. Kind of come in there, cut those out. You can kind of modify it, do whatever it is you need to do. And then you also got some nice little piece of wood for starting a fire. So if you had to come in, do some of the kind of woodsy type, like, you know, make a little tent stake or vampire stake or whatever, you definitely can. Now let's say you had to come in, make some fire curls because you needed to get, you know, a fire started. Got this nice little piece of wood right here. Come in here, see what kind of fire curls we can make. Oh yeah, not bad, not bad. Again, my big old mongoloid hands, I tend to cut them off. So I typically like to do this. I'll stick this in the wood. Again, careful with that tip because it is a little bit of a thinner tip. Come in here. I like to drag the wood across. This just works better for me. A lot nicer curls. And then straight forward and back. Do not twist side to side because you will bend or break that tip. But we got some nice fire curls. Absolutely. Now, I said we weren't going to baton. Come on, who were we kidding? We're going to do a little bit of batoning. Again, this has a very thin tip, guys, so you definitely have to be careful. Do not be trying to baton through stuff that's way thicker than you need it to. Oh, I almost forgot to do my zip tie test, guys. Guys, here's some zip ties. Attach a piece of wood. If you had to come in, you can run that tip right underneath, turn this blade, bam, pop those zip ties right off. This puts a lot of pressure on that tip and that thinner part of that edge towards the tip. Tip is still straight, edge is still good. Zip ties are gone. You're escaping your captors, right? So again, now this is a little bit of a thinner tip. Definitely do not be trying to baton through, you know, thick pieces of wood like this. You're going to be kind of regulated to kind of pieces like this. And the only reason why you would do this is if like this wood was just all wet on the outside, you were in a rainstorm or something like that, you needed to get down to the dry inside part of the wood. You might need to baton one, maybe two pieces of wood. I wouldn't really go much more than that because, again, you're really running the risk of breaking the tip off with this knife if you do that. So I don't recommend doing this. This would be a worst case scenario type of situation. And again, I would try to go as far back on this as I could to get as much of the batoning on the meat here and not so much the tip. Okay. So again, I'm going to tell you guys, I do not recommend batoning with this knife, but I always like to do it for you guys just to show you that if you had to, you could. And where did my batoning stick go? I just had it. and I threw it down, and I have such a pile of wood here that it disappeared magically somehow. I don't know where it went, and we can't baton without it. Okay, this piece will work right here. So that's really weird. That is crazy. Anyway, so I would try to go as much on the meat back here as I possibly could. And again, nothing too crazy. I wouldn't go ham wild trying to, I'm going to absolutely smash through this in one hit. Do some nice little light hits. And you get down through it. And bam, you're good to go. Knife is still straight. You're ready to rock and roll. Your knife's still good. You didn't break it. Awesome, right? So you might need to do this maybe one more time to get through there, to get to maybe another piece of dry wood. Kind of come in, little light taps, right through a little knot right there. Bam, push that piece. Now I got this piece. I can make some really nice little fire curls with this. Excuse me. Bam, those little guys. So, you know, can you do some batoning with it? I would say worst case scenario, very, very smaller pieces, little branches, things like this, you know, stuff this size. Again, you're not trying to go through giant logs and things like that. You'd have to be really conservative. Again, I would hate for you to break that tip off. If you absolutely had to do it, by all means, do what you got to do to survive, right? At the end of the day, that's what it's about. But as far as EDC tasks go, not a problem. You're going to be able to burn through rope, boxes, stuff like that. No issues. Rope, zip tie stuff, all your EDC tasks, this thing's going to handle it. And then again, as a backup, there is a larger version of the Karl, the handmade one. Very, very, very awesome. Held it at Blade Show West. Check out my video with auxiliary manufacturing from there. You can see some of that stuff. The Junior is just a nice little backup to that, or just a nice little backup to have. You can run this in your pocket discreetly, pull it out, use it if you have to. Hope you never do. Definitely follow some people, learn some stuff before you go into that. But great overall blade. Feels great in the hand. You're getting a lot of the performance, a lot of the ergonomics and stuff without having to pay the higher price of the handmade one. So I really applaud Michael for doing that, for making, you know, coming out with the Deadhead series of blades, to give, you know, everybody an opportunity to own one of his designs. And I think it's really awesome. So guys, definitely go check out Auxiliary Manufacturing. One of the nicest guys in the knife industry. Love Michael, man. He's fun to talk to. Great guy. Definitely go check out his website. You know, look for his blades wherever they're sold. Pick something up. I don't think you'll regret it, guys. The Deadhead series, Auxiliary Manufacturing, Karl Jr. I recommend it. Definitely. All right, everybody. Thanks for following along with me. I greatly appreciate it. Stay safe. Stay sharp. We'll see you on the next one.